It gives me great pleasure to celebrate once again our veterans during the month of November. We've already had a wonderful recognition Friday with a wonderful breakfast and speaker, etc. And so every year in November, we recognize the contributions and sacrifices of the people who served in the armed forces to maintain our freedoms and way of life. East Baton Rouge Parish is home to 23,000 veterans and thousands of active duty military, National Guard, and reserves and their families. Our veterans are brave and selfless individuals who, when duty called, willingly put themselves in harm's way to defend the lives and liberty of others. Since November 11, 1918, when Armistice Day marked the end of World War I, we have honored each November veterans' abiding patriotism and enduring devotion to the ideals on which the United States is found. So today we are proclaiming here in the city of Baton Rouge and parish of East Baton Rouge, November 2024 as Veterans Month, and honor the contributions of our veterans to the principles of democracy, individual freedom, and human rights. And so we have one proclamation that we're giving to recognize the Hidden Heroes Initiative. And I'm going to ask the Louisiana Department of Veteran Affairs Secretary, Mr. Mangley, to come on up. There are 5.5 million military and veteran caregivers in the United States. These spouses, mothers, fathers, and other loved ones put their lives indefinitely on hold to care for their wounded veterans and service members at home. So I have a proclamation. I do know that Governor Landry has declared Louisiana a hidden hero state. We are the 13th state to receive that designation. So the city of Baton Rouge wants to certainly be in alignment with that recognition. And I am going to give you one of our copies recognizing November as Veterans Month, and especially for the hidden heroes. So thank you very much. Don't take a picture. He wants to move over a little bit. Mr. Secretary.
Mayor Broom, thank you very much. Members of the council. I'm Charlton McGinley. I'm Secretary for the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. Right behind me is my Deputy Secretary, Dr. Jerome Buller. Between he and I and our Undersecretary, John Phillips, who couldn't be here today, we've got 74 years of military time. It's our honor and privilege to be able to represent the 261,000 veterans who are in the state, 23,000 of whom reside in East Baton Rouge Parish. And as Mayor Broom mentioned, there's a huge and significant military presence here. And this proclamation came about really a few months ago when we were approached by the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, who wanted us to be aware of the hidden heroes of the state. And those are the folks who take care of veterans who need assistance, our caretakers, the families. And it was something that was brought to our attention that you don't really think too much, but you think of like who's taking care of those who need the help the most, and how much are the families themselves sacrificing to make sure that our veterans and our heroes have the assistance that they need. And so Louisiana just became the 13th state. As Mayor Broom mentioned, Governor Landry signed that proclamation, and we work very closely right now with the Elizabeth Dole Foundation to do everything that we can to bring attention and awareness to our caretakers and to make sure that they know they're wanted. We want to take care of them. We're taking care of those who, again, served. I want to thank y'all again for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Ma'am, thank you again for this recognition, this proclamation, and for bringing this to the awareness of the council. And we, as the Department of Veterans Affairs, will do everything that we can to take care of our caretakers. Thank you.
I wanted to present the proclamation for Veterans Month to the chair of our Mayor's Veteran Commission, a retired Marine, and a parish attorney, Elena Ranzara.
And council, I cannot tell y'all how much it means to me, to the community, but mostly to our veterans for all the hard work and dedication that East Baton Rouge Parish Metropolitan Council has committed to help our veterans. And also now, with the parish being declared a Hidden Heroes Parish, to help those that support our veterans in their time of need through war and in peace, through their lives, because those are also the true heroes that have not been recognized before, and we will strive in this parish to have that commitment honored for those family members and supporters. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have some veterans in the audience, so if you're a veteran, would you please stand up so we can recognize you? Thank you all for your service. Thank you so much for your service. Oh, we have one more. Okay, so we have recognitions from the Metropolitan Council members in honor of Veterans Month, and I'm going to ask them to come and do their proclamations.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Councilwoman Jen Rocca, and today I would like to recognize and honor Major Eveta Mesqueda, United States Marine Corps Reserves. She attended Officer Candidate School and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps in August 2008. While deployed in 2011 with the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit, she communicated with foreign countries, embassies, worked with other branches of the armed forces, and coordinated with local populations in Africa, Bahrain, Thailand, and Hong Kong. She has been involved in mentoring young women in the roles of leadership, both in their personal life and professional life. She is a role model for many, and we are proud that she is a member of our parish and community. Thank you for your continued service. Would you like to say anything? No? I have one more, and this is a recognition by the entire council. Thank you for letting me stand here and do this today. And we are honored to recognize Elena Brandon-Sauer.
Good afternoon. I am so honored and excited to be able to recognize a veteran from District 11. Sergeant Jack Lipko attended LSU and then volunteered for the United States Marine Corps in 1971. He was meritoriously promoted to private first class upon being awarded the platoon honorman in boot camp at MCRD San Diego, California. He then trained as an avionics technician and was attached to the President's Helicopter Squadron in and Quantico, Virginia. Sergeant Lithgow later served in Heavy Marine Helicopter Squadron 462, 1st Marine Air Wing aboard the USS Okinawa, and was meritoriously promoted to sergeant and then honorably discharged in June 1975. After his military service, Mr. Lithgow worked in the petrochemical industry as a project manager and business development manager until he retired in 2012. He says the Marine Corps taught him discipline and teamwork that all young men and women could benefit from, and the camaraderie and esprit de corps was so strong in the Corps that those relationships, those friendships perpetuate and remain strong today. He is also the proud father of a son who also served in the United States Marine Corps. So Sergeant Lithgow and wife Sue Ellen, please know how very grateful we are for your service to our country, and certainly exceptionally proud to have you as a resident of District 11. So,
Thank you.
You want to say anything?
No, well,
You're certainly welcome to. I mean, when do you get a microphone?
I'm still, after all these years, gloriously proud of having served my country in Vietnam, and it's just been a tremendous award to made so many good friends in the Marine Corps. Thank you.
I'm Dwight Hudson, councilperson for District 9. It is my distinct pleasure to recognize Mr. Xavier Hoskins, captain of the United States Army Infantry, U.S. Army veteran and dedicated healthcare leader. As the owner of DXI Health Solutions and a partner at Magnolia Medical, Xavier brings over 12 years of pharmaceutical expertise and a commitment to patient care. His service as an infantry officer and executive officer in the United Nations Command exemplifies his dedication to our nation. We honor his courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to supporting the community in Louisiana and beyond. Your contributions have made a lasting impact, and we are forever grateful to your service, for your service to our country. Another fun fact about Xavier is that he also serves us as commissioner on our ABC commission, and so it just goes to show that regardless of where you are in life, Xavier is always willing to serve his community and go above and beyond. So, Xavier, thank you very much.
Very humble. Thank you very much.
You want to say anything?
I'm very humbled by this. I wanted to say thank you to everybody. I came here in 1999 to be in Louisiana temporarily, but now it's my home. I raised my family here, and I'm so proud to be a resident of this parish and this state. Thank you.
Actually, one of the council members could do this, but on behalf of Councilwoman Banks, she has some people here, I think. Is Mr. Rohn here? Oh, come on, Mr. Rohn. He is a veteran as well. You saw him stand up. And this is from your Councilwoman Shauna Banks. In gratitude and recognition of your years of service to the United States of America, your courage, dedication, and sacrifice are commendable, and we are forever indebted for all that you have given. And this is from Metro Councilwoman Shauna Banks for District 3. And I'm delighted to present it on her behalf. Can I take a picture with you? And thank you so much. Did you want to say anything? No, ma'am. You could. And Sunita Odoms. You retired as United States Army Sergeant. First class, yes. First class, E7. And in gratitude and recognition of your years of service to the United States of America, your courage, dedication, and sacrifice are commendable, and we are forever indebted for all that you have given to protect freedom in our nation. I want to add this. you dedicated your career as a petroleum and water supply specialist in the Quartermaster Corps, providing the lifeline to victory by ensuring essential resources for your missions. And your contributions played a vital role in sustaining operations and supporting the brave men and women who serve. So we honor and thank you for your service.
Next, we're going to have President Sharon Weston Broome recognize the Southern University women's soccer team for their 2024 SWAC champions.
All right. Council members, I know everyone loves champions, so you're welcome to come and join me with this presentation and take a picture. And so today, the mayor's office and our parish honor the Southern University soccer team here at our council meeting today for winning the SWAC championship for the first time in history. We want to congratulate the team and head coach Jeremy Fontenot, assistant coach Shanika Wright, and volunteer assistant coach Gian McCain. Thank you for representing our parish and our state and our beloved Southern University so well in the SWAC. And we are extremely proud to support you and look forward to you bringing home the trophy again next year. So let's bring the trophy out. Let's bring the players up. Let's bring the coaches up. Councilwoman, would you like to say something about Southern University?
Such a question, and know that this is District 10. And so, Coach Fontenot and this crew, come on up, ladies. You all are the people. You're the ladies of the hour. Come on up. Give it up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so, look at the trophy. Look at the trophy. Look at it. Come on, Coach. Come on. Do your thing.
Oh, I didn't think I had nothing to say.
Oh, you got plenty to say.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support that y'all give, not just to Southern University, but to all athletics. This is something that we've been working for a long, long time. And we finally made it, finally got it, even in the times when you fussed at me.
That's it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I thought I ain't have no job after I was done with you.
Yeah.
But we made it through.
You made it.
We made it through.
Yeah,
Thank
you made
y'all.
it.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mayor.
championship. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
championship.
All in a stall, take a picture with the champions.
Everybody. Come on, ladies.
We're going to come over here, ladies.
This way.
Somebody get the trophy.
We're facing this way?
Yeah. No, facing this way.
So that's after the announcement?
Yes, no, right here after this.
Oh, after this.
After this photo is taken, I have to take one with my girls. These are my
Everybody look this way. All right, this way. All right, everybody look this way. All right, big smile for everybody. All right, good old lady. All right, I got you.
Right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. Last one. Got it.
What about the Southern? I was like, did I leave something behind? What is this? I think that's, I gotta stay for him. Yeah, what is this? Oh, this is for the soccer team. What's it called? Grapevine. That doesn't compare to Man, did you try to get that trophy up? Yeah, but you can hold it. Don't want any responsibility. Any accidents. Go on. Just say go on. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
You can hold the Veterans Month. And then we'll get, the only thing
Hold on, you need to get into it as well.
is the light.
Here, you get in it as well.
See, these get, we have like,
Awesome. So glad to have you all down here.
would you mind taking a picture so they
gotta put up with me.
with the Hidden Heroes Proclamation? Thank you so much.
How many more do you do? Go, here you go. Yes, darling.
All right, me first.
I'm saying it's ring. Oh, okay. All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, thank you for having us. Bye, thank you.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one for me. 1, 2, 3.
All right, just hold tight right there.
Okay, next we're going to have Councilman Cleve Dunn Jr. and Councilwoman Carolyn Coleman to recognize Sharon Smith.
Well, Sharon Smith is not going to necessarily appear before us today.
I was like,
But Sharon Weston Broom is going to appear before us. This was, as you can see, a surprise. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know, but our illustrious mayor was elected the president of the National League of Cities recently, and she'll be going to Tampa to accept that appointment and honors. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to read a little bit of it so people can kind of understand the gravity of this responsibility and the accomplishment that it is. Whereas Mayor President Sharon Weston Broom has been elected as the 2025 president of the National League of Cities, a significant achievement reflecting her leadership, her dedication to public service, and whereas the National League of Cities is an organization comprised of hundreds of municipal elected officials from across the United States representing the interests of cities, towns, and villages in every region of the country, and serving as the voice of local government in promoting local leadership and on a national stage. And as whereas Mayor President Sharon Weston Broom has earned the respect and confidence of her peers across the country through her service in multiple roles in the National League of Cities, including her current role as first vice president, a role that demonstrates her commitment to addressing issues that impact municipalities both local and nationally. And whereas in her new position as president of National League of Cities, Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome will bring significant recognition to the city of Baton Rouge, the state of Louisiana, elevating our capital city on a national stage as she advocates for the needs and priorities of communities across this nation. So you guys join me in recognizing, honoring, and thanking our Mayor President for serving us well, but not only serving us, but serving the country, and give it up to Mayor Sharon Weston Broome.
Okay. So I was surprised, and I'm not one that's easily surprised. But I am very honored this weekend to assume the role of president of the National League of Cities, which is a great organization, as you heard, representing cities, towns, and villages across America, with over 2,000 member cities, towns, and villages, and at the end of the day, representing over 19,000 cities, towns, and villages. And so I look forward to continuing to show people the great city of Baton Rouge and East Baton Rouge Parish. Many of my colleagues there, and they're made up of mayors as well as council members, but many of them are very intrigued by the title of Mayor President. And I have to explain it to them that you just can't say Mayor President, that we're a consolidated form of government, and therein lies the title. But I'm very humbled that they would select me, this nonpartisan organization made up of members, as I said, from all over, all opinions and political philosophies, but we share a common goal, and that is certainly the advancement of local government and its response to the citizens across America. So thank you very much. Thank you.
We got you.
Done. There you go. Let's take a picture, man.
Okay. Oh, we still waiting on one more? Right here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
And let me thank the Southern University soccer team for coming back in and witnessing this. Thank you, guys.
This concludes presentations. Council meeting to begin at 4 p.m.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Council Chamber of East Baton Rouge Parish. Always good to have all of you watching on Metro 21 on AT&T, and of course Metro 21 on Cox, streaming on our website at brla.gov, and Facebook, and also on YouTube. Want to remind you that next week our council meeting, instead of being on a Wednesday, I shouldn't say next week, the week after next, the Thanksgiving week, instead of that Thursday, we'll be meeting on, instead of Wednesday before Thursday, we'll meet on Tuesday, and that will be on the 26th. Always a pleasure to have you a part of our government. And at this time, here is the Mayor President Pro Tem of East Baton Rouge Parish, Councilman Brandon Noel. Councilman?
Thank you, Dennis. All right, welcome everybody to the Metropolitan Council meeting this Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. We're going to call the meeting to order. Ashley, do we have a quorum?
We have a quorum.
We're going to have the invocation and pledge offered by Erin Sandifer, Councilwoman for District 5 of Livingston Parish.
If everybody would stand. Lord, make us an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. In your great name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Sandifer, on behalf of the Metropolitan Council, welcome to our chamber and thank you for your service in Livingston Parish.
Thank you so much for having me. It is a joy and a delight to be here.
Do all of y'all frequent other council meetings often? Okay, we're going to have the adoption and approval of minutes. Approval and adoption of the minutes of the Metropolitan Council meeting of October 23rd, 2024, and the special Metropolitan Council meeting of November 5th, 2024, by Council Administrator Treasurer. We have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ashley, please read introductions.
Section 2.12, Introductions. Number 2, authorizing settlement of the matter entitled Catherine Woodfolk versus City of Baton Rouge in the amount of $75,000 plus court cost in the amount of $636 for a total amount of $75,636 and appropriating that sum for such purpose by the parish attorney. Number 3, authorizing settlement of the matter entitled Annie Cochran versus Ronald Wayne Norman in the amount of $122,500 plus court cost in the amount of $1,085.70 for a total amount of $123,585.70 and appropriating that sum for such purpose by the parish attorney. Number 4, authorizing settlement of the matter entitled Shauna Chavez versus the City of Baton Rouge in the amount of $180,000 and appropriating $180,000 for such purpose by parish attorney. Number 5, authorizing settlement of the matter entitled Ira Cumming versus Dale Lee Davis in the amount of $85,000 plus court costs in the amount of $580 for a total amount of $85,580 and appropriating that sum for such purpose by the parish attorney. Number 6, a resolution approving 3 annual payments in lieu of tax to the Sheriff of East Baton Rouge Parish in an amount not to exceed $100 for each pilot payment in accordance with the Memorandum of Understanding between the Capital Area Finance Authority and East Baton Rouge Parish Housing Authority and Partners for Progress Incorporated by Councilman Cleve Dunn Jr. Condemnation introductions. Charles Woodward and Crystal Woodward, 8967 Lemon Road, Council District 1, Knoll. Number 8, Nan Yi Tai and Chow Ho, 11355 Robin Hood Drive, Council District 4, Moak. Number 9, Renia Elizabeth Perez de Cohen, 3285 Duke Street, Council District 7, Darazan. Number 10, Randy R. Ellis Jr., 5355 Jackson Avenue, Council District 7, Darazan. Number 11, Ellison Shepard Jr., 1634 North 40th Street, Council District 7, Darazan. Number 12, Gail Valerie et al., 1227 Julia Street, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 13, Mary Gesfold Alford, 1706 Government Street, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 14, Jonathan Elmore Davis, 3793 Topeka Street, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 15, Mitchell Robinson and Julia May Williams Robinson, 226 West Polk Street, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 16, Wiley M. Williams, 212 East Harding Street, Council District 10, Coleman. All items that require reading have been read. A motion to delete items 13, 37, 38, 41, 45, and 46, and introduce all other items is in order.
Do we have a second? We have a motion by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilman Hudson.
What are the numbers again? 13,
Items
37.
13, 37, 38, 41, 45, and 46 to be deleted. That's the motion.
Thank you.
We have any opposition? Motion carries. All right, we're going to go to our separate sheet for condemnations. We have to proceed item 51, 52, 53, 55, 57, 58, 60, 62, 63, 65, and 66. 30 days on item 56. 90 days for item 49, 59, 61, and to delete items 50, 54, and 64. Is anyone here wishing to speak on any of these items? Seeing none, we'll go to council.
You mean 90 days on 51, 60 days on 52, and 30 days on 53.
53. Anybody else?
And 64 will be deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I have
for
that.
Lindsay Hudson. All right. I think that's it.
Okay, recap, we're going to proceed with item 55, 57, 58, 60, 62, 63, 65, and 66. 30 days for item 53 and 56, 60 days for item 52, 90 days for item 49, 51, 59, and 61. Delete items 50, 54, and 64. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Hudson, second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to jump. Y'all know I don't like to do these until the end. However, we got a lot of youth here today. So we are going to jump to item 120. It's an emergency. Where's my emergency? Right here, huh? In accordance with ordinance 16442, this item must be declared an emergency by 2/3 vote of the Metropolitan Council. We have a motion to declare it an emergency. Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr. Item 120. Second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposition? Motion carries. All right, we're going to receive a report from BRPD and the Baton Rouge Police Department Youth Advisory Council by Councilman Cleve Dunn Jr. We're going to receive the report and then we'll have a public hearing.
Hello, my name is Aaron Brown. I am a junior at the Estroma High School, where I serve as my junior class president. I am also serving as a member of the Baton Rouge Police Department Youth Advisory Council. Our mission on this council is to bridge the gap between the youth and the police. Our vision is to transfer the future of our community through youth-led initiative with law enforcement. Being a part of this council has impacted my life and leadership in several ways. For example, in my community, our generation doesn't always trust law enforcement or view them in a positive light. But the more time I spend on this leadership council, I am learning how to bridge the gap and form relationships. Thank you so much for your attention today. At this time, we will have our program manager to come share with you all we have done this semester.
Good job.
Come on, everybody. Give it up for Erin. Give her a round of applause. All right. So we're coming today to provide an update to this amazing vision of our police chief. And so we believe at our Youth Advisory Council that we're one Baton Rouge. And so we want to share with you today the journey, right, of what has happened and transpired since this Youth Advisory Council for the Baton Rouge Police Department has been established. So, of course, we went through the process for any kid that's, any student between grades 9 through 12 to apply. So we had that. We had individual opportunities for there to be interviews. We had a phenomenal orientation. And then we officially started with our Youth Advisory Police Department press conference. The good news that I want to report to you today is that we had over 35,000 people view that amazing press conference. Come on, y'all, clap for that. That's big news there. So in addition to that, as we begin to really be a Youth Advisory Council representing the Baton Rouge Police, we had an initiative entitled Bridging the Gap between September 16th through the 17th, where we had an opportunity to go across East Baton Rouge Parish school system and private, charter, as well as public, to be able to impact 3,000 students to help bridge the gap between law enforcement and students that's in the high school population. In addition to that, every first Sunday of the month, we have an initiative that is started by our Youth Advisory Council that's a think tank where students come together on a Sunday afternoon at Baton Rouge Police Headquarters, and we think about methods, strategies, and ways to be able to improve a collaboration between the community and law enforcement. And so I'm proud to announce in those meetings where the chief of police is there and the deputy chiefs are there to be able to hear what kids have to say and for kids to be able to hear what law enforcement has to say, that we were able to produce on a monthly basis now town halls, where these town halls are in local high schools all around the city parish. And so I want to give a report. We started off at Scotlandville Magnet High School, where students were be able to engage in a town hall. Of course, we had administrators there from the local school, but I want to give it up for DJ and Talil. Two of our Youth Advisory Council members literally led this initiative, because when we talked about the vision, it was all about for Mr. TJ to have youth leading these conversations. And so we had an opportunity at Scotlandville for them to be able to ask tough questions, be able to hear some great truth, and help bridge that gap between law enforcement and students at Scotlandville. But we didn't just stop there, right? We wanted to provide necessary resources for every student that attend these town halls. So we partner with LSU, Southern University, Employ BR, trying to provide jobs for our students, and as well as BRCC, but also there are students that want to be police officers. So they have an opportunity to engage with the Baton Rouge Police recruiting segment as well. In addition to that, we didn't stop there. Mr. TJ, as well as Deputy Chief Sharon Douglas, wanted to actually go through the halls of the school, right, to be able to show their presence beyond a 911 call. And so they walked these halls, engaging with students, having necessary conversations to really make our presence shown. And then in October, we were able to do another town hall at Glen Oaks Magnet High School, where we have one of our students, Avani Brown, who led that conversation with two of her peers to be able to keep these conversations going. But it didn't stop there, Council. We were also able to provide financial literacy for these students to be able to hear the truth about money and how money works. And so this Youth Advisory Council has already traveled. They've been out of Baton Rouge already, going to Seattle, Washington, to be able to do a college tour at the University of Washington and be able to look at a different culture, a different space, and a different place to expose these young people beyond 225. And while we were in Seattle, the main reason we went was to attend a conference entitled Cities United, where different cities from all over the country come together to have conversations, necessary strategies to be able to reduce violence collectively, but also individually. And so our students went to Seattle to engage in conversation, be able to go to workshops and seminars. And so I'm so proud of these young people for doing the necessary diligence to represent Baton Rouge. We have been receiving emails and calls all over from different cities: Austin, Texas, Seattle, Washington, Houston, Texas, from other individuals that was at this conference, of how they were so impressed with our students that's representing Baton Rouge, Louisiana, especially the Youth Advisory Council. And so I'm really excited about what's happening in this Youth Advisory Council. In addition to that, we were able to expose the city of Baton Rouge to being a part of the Clay Young Show, where they talked about what does this council look like. But that doesn't stop there. Next month, we'll be doing community service, whether that's with Our Lady of the Lake or another opportunity there. But our kids understand that it takes us to be able to serve more and give more in this climate. And so we're also forming a partnership with Houston Youth Police Department, where their Youth Advisory Council will formulate a collaboration with our Youth Advisory Council to be able to bring ideas together. And so not only that, in this Youth Advisory Council, there's a mandate for them to turn in their grades every single month, because you can't lead at BRPD and not lead in the classroom, right? And so that's all that I have today. Thank you so much for your time. Our website is www.brpdyac.com. And so we really appreciate that. I do want to say this. Let's give it up. All the Youth Advisory Council members, would you stand, as well as their parents are here today. Can we give them a round of applause for being here? And so our goal is to continue to provide updates and all of that. And so I want to give a special shout out to our chief of police, Mr. TJ Morris, who really invests into this work so that these young people can help bridge the gap. And so thank you so much. Give it up for our chief of police. All right.
Stay right there, Mr. Sterling. Would you just come in with their certificates of recognition from the city parish and their participation in this program? So if you will, just call their names and let them come up and get them.
First up, we have Kevin Spears. Next up, Zoe Banguel. Next up, we have, some of them are not here, Keandra Jones. Next up, we have, you heard from her, Aaron Brown. Demetrius Brackens. Brandon Matthews. Thank you for clapping when you don't feel like it. Talia Banks. Some of y'all come on, yeah. Talia Davis. Avani Brown. Dare Powell Jr. Ryan Crowder. Keemon Washington. Braden Laws. All right. On three. One Baton Rouge on three. 1, 2, 3. One Baton Rouge.
Good job, young people.
Okay, anyone here wishing to speak on that item? Seeing none, we'll move on.
Oh, I wanted to.
Oh, sorry, Dwight.
Mr. Sterling, I just wanted to mention to you and commend you for bringing these students out here, but also, I've never seen, when we bring a group of youth like this, that much parent participation. And so I want to give a hand for that. That is exceptional to have our parents engaged.
All right. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, we're going back now. Item 67. Authorizing Mayor President to amend that certain contract for professional services with Brian Blackwell LLP to expand the scope of presentation to include additional law enforcement cases and authorizing budget transfer from the compromise judgment account to the legal services account in the amount of $100,000 for said purpose by the parish attorney. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Gode. Second by Councilman Hudson. 1, 2, 6. Well, we got. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 68, authorizing Mayor President to amend that certain contract for professional legal services with Taylor Porter to expand the scope of representation to include additional law enforcement cases and authorizing a budget transfer from compromise judgment account to the legal services account in the amount of $175,000 for said purpose by the parish attorney. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Gode, second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 69, amending the preliminary current expense budget and capital budget of the City of Baton Rouge and the Parish of East Baton Rouge for the year 2025 submitted by the Mayor President and adopting the final current expense budget and capital budget of the City of Baton Rouge and the Parish of East Baton Rouge for the year 2025 by the Mayor President. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? This item must be recessed to the December 10th, 2024 Metropolitan Council meeting. So do we have a motion to recess? Motion by Councilman Gode, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 70, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute a housing loan agreement between the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and Hotel Lincoln LLC for the Hotel Lincoln Housing Development with total funding amount of $1,170,172 in home investment partnership funds by the Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Do we have a motion?
Sorry.
Is it not working?
There we go.
Councilman Gode.
Just actually, if appropriate, I was going to inquire on the next 6 items, which are all related to affordable housing and total up to 132 affordable units. So I was just going to ask Ms. Marley, because all these funds are out of community development, to speak holistically about the agreements that are coming before us. So if appropriate, item 70, but also 71 through 75.
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 70.
Thank you, Ms. Marley.
Thank you, Councilmember. I know the Office of Community Development has been working very closely with our state and our developer partners over the last year or two in order to identify some really exciting projects that span many of your districts. So we're very excited to see these come to fruition. All of these represent public-private partnerships where we might be coming in with some funding. Private financial institutions, investors, the developers themselves are coming in with their own capital. And very exciting that this round has kind of unprecedented levels of state funding as well coming into our community for these housing developments. So we've been able to leverage a lot of our limited resources. And I think the last thing that's really exciting about these awards is, you know, normally we're really kind of working with about $1.3 million annually for housing in our community. And we all know that the need for housing is much greater than that. We are able to use some kind of one-time resources in a creative way on permanent housing solutions as opposed to temporary ones, which is a part of the reason we were able to leverage so much state funding this go around. So while our funding in a project, any of the projects never goes beyond $2 million, Some of those projects represent north of $40 million of state funding and significantly more in private funding. So I know some of the developers are here today if you have specific questions about projects. But this does represent kind of an exciting and we hope comprehensive suite of affordable housing investments.
Yeah, no, that was how I viewed it. Again, just highlighting 132 total under these agreements here. You referenced the annually $2 million funding. That's the home 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 funding
Yes.
that comes through the federal government to the city parish directly. And then how about the ERAP?
Yeah, so that's that creative
Okay.
resource that we are able to take a small piece of the ERAP dollars and turn those into long-term housing solutions so that we can actually invest in housing development in addition to the rental assistance program that we've run for several years.
Perfect. Great. Thanks for your work on this. That's exciting to see 6 items totaling up to this many affordable housing units. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Councilwoman Coleman.
And I am grateful to know that the majority of these houses is in District 10, where there is definitely a need for housing. So I'm grateful for all of you that are out there who are the persons that are responsible for this. And I know that it's going to be some great development. So I'll be out there.
Thank you. And Councilmember, on the projects in your district, they're not just housing, but it's taking blighted properties and then
Yes.
turning them into exciting mixed-use spaces, vacant properties, in areas that some people say, oh, you can't get private investment there. But I think these deals show that you can.
Yes,
If
thank you,
you're
ma'am.
creative. Yes, ma'am.
Motion by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Do we have any opposition? Motion carries. Item 71, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute a housing loan agreement between the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and the Villas at Mohican LP in partnership with LHC. The agreement allocates up to $2 million of ERAP housing dollars by Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council.
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 71.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 72, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute a housing loan agreement between the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and Habitat for Humanity for the Dayton Street Housing Development. The agreement allocates $367,408 in home investment partnership funds by the Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 72.
We'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 73, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute a housing loan agreement between the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and LaFleur Industries for the Melrose 4 housing development in partnership with LHC, with total funding amount $360,000 in home investment partnership funds by the Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 73.
Go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Darazan, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 74, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute housing loan program agreement between the City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and Louisiana Housing Corporation for the Prince Hall Masonic Temple and for 1335 North Residences LP. The agreement allocates $2 million in ERAP housing dollars by Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 74.
Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Goday, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 75, authorizing Mayor President to enter into and execute a housing loan agreement between City of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, and LaFleur Industries for the Melrose 3 housing development with total funding amount $264,092 in ERAP funds by the Community Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council.
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 75.
No. Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 76, authorizing Mayor President to amend the contract with Vimformatics LLC for database support services, increasing the amount of the contract by $18,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $78,000 by Information Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 77, authorizing the Mayor President to enter into a 5-year agreement with Team Dynamic Solutions LLC for an IT service management solution in an amount not to exceed $115,000 by Information Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Darazan, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 78, authorizing Mayor President to enter into a 5-year agreement with Presidio Network Solutions LLC and Cisco Systems Inc. for renewal of Cisco Umbrella and Cisco Duo cybersecurity services in an amount not to exceed $443,030.95 by the Information Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Do we have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 79, rescinding and canceling that certain decision and order from September 25th, 2024 Metro Council meeting in the matter of City of Baton Rouge versus Brothers Baton Rouge LLC, 12415 Dolores Drive. Reason for the rescission, incomplete physical address by the Department of Development. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 80, rescinding and directing the clerk of court to cancel the notice to attend recorded on May 9th, 2024, and the decision and order recorded on August 30th, 2024, in the matter of City of Baton Rouge versus Elvin Sterling and Norma Gauthier Sterling, 18244 Martha Drive. Reason for rescission, properties being repaired, put back in commerce, by Councilman Knoll. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by the chair, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 81, authorizing settlement in the matter entitled Dwayne L. Gray et al. Versus City of Baton Rouge et al. In the amount of $27,250 plus court costs in the amount of $264 for a total amount of $27,541 by the parish attorney. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second. Second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 82, authorizing settlement of matter entitled Cecilia Walker versus City of Baton Rouge et al. In an amount of $20,000 plus court costs in the amount of $289 for an amount of $20,289 by the parish attorney. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second. Second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 83, authorizing settlement of the claim of USAA General Indemnity Company as a subrogate of Joe McKines for damages resulting from an auto accident caused by Public Works employee in an amount of $26,726.33 by the parish attorney. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Goday, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 84, authorizing Mayor President and Director of Juvenile Services to execute a professional service agreement with Convenient Care Lake After Hours, doing business as Total Occupation, to provide juveniles access to continuum of healthcare services in an amount not to exceed $150,000 by the Juvenile Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Goday. We have a second. Second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 85, authorizing Mayor President to execute a supplemental agreement number 1 to the contract with Fusion Architects PC for additional design services in connection with their contract for the public safety complex in an amount not to exceed $900,000 by Building and Grounds Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 85.
Seeing none, we'll go to council. Do we have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second. Second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 86, authorize Mayor President to execute amendment number 1 to the professional services agreement with Waste Pro of Louisiana for debris hauling services to increase the contract amount by $100,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $200,000 by the Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. Second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 87, authorize Mayor President to execute Amendment Number 2 to the Professional Services Agreement with Southern Environmental Management and Specialties, Inc. for asbestos surveying and testing to increase the contract amount by $50,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,000 by the Development Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. Have a second? Second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 88, authorizing Mayor President to execute a supplemental agreement number 1 to contract for professional engineering services with Fort and Tablada Engineering, Inc. for land surveying and right-of-way services associated with the Magnolia Heights at Baird Drive drainage improvements and an additional amount of not to exceed $34,250 by Transportation and Drainage Director. Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received 2 email comments in support of item 88.
Go to council. Motion to approve by Councilwoman Rocca, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 89, certifying to the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development that the City of Baton Rouge and Parish of East Baton Rouge agrees to certain stipulations required by LADOTD as prerequisites for participation by the City of Baton Rouge and the Parish of East Baton Rouge and the Off-System Bridge Replacement Program by the Transportation and Drainage Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing no one, go to council. Councilman Gode.
Thank you, Fred. If you'll come up, I asked Fred on this item, and actually I'll ask him to speak on the next item as well, just to give the details, please. This is 89, Fred, the off-system bridge replacement.
Yes. This is a yearly agreement that we have to execute with DOTD. It's federal funds that are passed through DOTD. That also to help address some of the bridge problems we have throughout the parish. It's statewide that they do, but we submit our list yearly to them, to DOTD. That is one of the requirements. We also have to make physical inspections of the bridge, which we do very regular, probably more than DOTD does at this point. Just to be sure what the condition of our bridges are. If we have to close them, we will close the bridge and make a determination on what needs to be replaced, what needs to be repaired, or just total replacement. Those are the issues that we deal with. In many cases, we're able to put low posting on the bridge, which is a requirement that we have our engineering group to do to be sure that any bridge that we have is structurally sound to a point to handle the traffic that it runs across them. But at this point, I mean, I would just say that we've been very fortunate, but we've submitted our list. There's a lot of these bridges that we have that are currently under design. Some have been completed, just like the ones on Cedar Crest were just recently completed. That was one of the bridges that we knew had to be replaced. But there are some issues that we are dealing with in regards to the bridge capacity. But right now, on that list, we have provided to DOTD at least 74 bridges that we want to look at considering doing replacement.
Yeah, I have one, Fred. We've discussed in the past on Gardier between Burbank and Highland, and it's near a senior citizen housing development.
Yes.
Do you know if that's on the list of 74?
What that particular project is part of the road transfer agreement.
Okay.
And that will be handled through that process. And once we do the transfer, they are prepared to, that plans are already completed.
Okay.
We made some minor adjustments due to the sidewalk request that was asked about. So that's where we are at this point.
Thank you, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
I'll go.
Motion by Councilman Gode, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 90, authorizing Mayor President to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between East Baton Rouge Parish and Iberville Parish in connection with the Bayou Manchac clearing and snagging project from Bayou Fountain to Highway 30, Nicholson Drive, by the Transportation and Drainage Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Councilman Gode.
Just Fred, thank you. Another important regional drainage project. If you'll give the highlights on this one, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Councilman Gode. Number one, it is a very important part of getting our overall waterways clean and snagged. I think that's important, particularly dealing with right now with Bayou Manchac. We've done a lot of work working with Ascension Parish, working cooperative with the parishes. and they participate in costs, we participate in costs because it does impact both parishes. This particular location is where we're wanting to go from Bayou Fountain up to Nicholson Drive. We're working currently with Everville Parish. The parish president we've had a lot of discussion about it with some of his staff members, and we want to do as much clearing and snagging as we can move forward to. It won't be as much some of the removal of trees because of the type. They're pretty particular about some of the tree locations, but there's a lot of drift and debris that's falling from trees in this channel. If we open that up, which is what our main goal is, and look and see where we need to go next, would be to address to help facilitate water moving through the Bayou Manchac to get it out to the Amite River. We've agreed to about $280,000 each parish will do, and if we need to go further, we will find some additional revenue to try to address that. It is critical because most people say, well, that's down south. Well, Bayou Manchac drains Bayou Fountain, which picks up a lot of area at LSU, up around the southern area. But you also have Wards Creek, which goes all the way up to Eden Park. So, I mean, when people say, well, it's no benefit to me, yes, it is, because all that water ultimately ends on it, and the quicker we can get it out of our area into the main river, which is the Amite River, the better we're going to be. And I want to clarify also, just for people who may be watching, we're not pushing water down onto every other parish. All these things are looked at very carefully. We model all the work that's going to take place. And we also, as last council meeting, we had a $30 million grant to do some work on Wards Creek to address some of how water is running out and get it into Manchac and get it to the river as quickly as possible. So we're moving in the right direction, and I think that's the big plus. And I think some of the rain events that we've had, particularly in the general vicinity where they all drain to these channels, very few complaints in regards to water. I mean, and trust me, I would know that because they call me 24/7. I mean, and when it clouds up, I get the phone calls. So, thank you.
Thank you for what you do, Fred. Really appreciate you.
Councilwoman Adams.
Really quickly, Fred, I was going to say, we've had some heavy rains recently, and I've been watching my channels, and things have been draining beautifully. So congratulations and thank you.
We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Hudson, second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 91, authorization for the mayor, president, and/or chairman of the airport commission to execute a non-federal reimbursement agreement between the Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and the city of Baton Rouge and the parish of East Baton Rouge in an amount of $314,401.48 by the aviation director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 92, amending the annual operating budget so as to reallocate $2,554,748.15 from the proceeds from the local fiscal recovery funds through the American Rescue Plan Act to provide funding for projects and initiatives as follows: $708,158.65 for stormwater, $690,232,068 for cybersecurity, $225,000 towards Boys and Girls Inspiration Center, $290,000 for building improvements, $130,000 for economic development and tourism events, $100,426.82 to support the public defender, $100,000 for homelessness cleanup, $100,000 towards updating the Plan BR3, $140,000 for community programs, $45,930 for downtown signage, $25,000 for District Attorney's Witness Assistance Program. Request for Budget Supplement 9085 by the Mayor President. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Please come up and state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Lauren Tompkins. I'm the Executive Director of the Baton Rouge Blues Festival and Foundation, which is a very, very small part of this item number, but I wanted to take the opportunity to brag about the festival to the council members for just a minute. In 2024, excuse me, We saw just under a $3 million economic impact in just the 2.5 days of the Baton Rouge Blues Festival, and those numbers are coming from Visit Baton Rouge and all of the data that they pull. All of the downtown hotels were completely booked out, and we had record-breaking numbers of well over $100,000 cell phone pings in the area during the festival within the footprint. So this festival is really on track to be in competition with, the French Quarter Festival in New Orleans, Festival International in Lafayette. This can be the hallmark festival of Baton Rouge if we get some good, sustainable investment in it. So I just wanted to kind of introduce the numbers to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Councilman Dunn Jr.
Motion to approve with the amendment to change community programming from 140 to 100.
All right. We have a second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Y'all, council members, you should have received 3 email comments in support of item 92.
We have a motion with an amendment to change community programs from 140,000 to 100,000 by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed?
Not opposed, just a question.
Councilman Gode.
Where are we off by numbers? Where's the 40,000 going to be allocated?
One organization couldn't get their board to agree to receive the dollars, so we just have to pull it out.
These are ARPA funds. Finance Department, we're under or maybe Mayor's Office, we're under a deadline to get these allocated. Do we have a plan for $40,000?
Don't all throw your hands up at once.
Well, no, I asked the question, so I get first dibs.
Yes, sir.
First right of refusal for asking the question.
Absolutely. So, to that point, all of these dollars do have to be encumbered. So not just allocated, not just we have an idea, but these things need to be under contract before the end of the year with a 2-year limit to spend these funds. So no, we've already had a conversation with the councilperson and additional organizations where we plan to put this $40,000. To his credit, we had been working with another organization that we thought we were going to get under contract quickly. It wasn't going to work out. So we absolutely do have the plan in place for these dollars and anything else that's not encumbered this month.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
I'd like to say if there's any extra money anywhere, let's consider Live After 5, which has been cut. And, I think they do real well.
Okay, we have a motion. It's been properly motioned and second with the amendment. Do we have any opposition? Motion carries. Item 93, authorizing Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Head Start Program to submit a continuation grant application to the Office of Head Start and receive funding in the amount of $12,882,609 for operational budget and $124,351 for training and technical assistance by the Human Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 94, authorizing Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Services and Development and Services Head Start Program to submit a grant application and receive funding from the Louisiana Department of Education Office of Nutrition Services for the Child and Adult Care Food Program in the amount of $1,504,578.16 by the Human Services Director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilwoman Derazan. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 95, authorizing Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Head Start Program to submit renewal grant to the Administration for Children and Families, Office of Head Start, and receive funding in the amount of $12,882,609 for the operational budget and $124,351 for training and technical assistance, for a total amount $13,006,960 by Human Services Director. Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Was the total the same? Mm-hmm. Seeing none, we'll go to council.
God bless you.
Is this a duplicate item? If we can get somebody. I don't know if anybody's here. Dante, do you know if this is a duplicate item? Item 95 with item 93? Okay. Motion to delete by Councilwoman Rocca, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Item's been deleted. Item 96, a resolution naming the outdoor pavilion at the Jewel J. Newman Community Center in honor of former Metropolitan Council member Ulysses Z. Addison Jr. by Councilwoman Shauna Banks. I know she's not here, but anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Councilwoman Coleman.
Oh,
No?
I'll do it. I'm going to defer it.
Oh, she wanted us to approve it?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilman Goday. Any opposed? Motion carries. Oh.
Sound like an amendment to me?
And Bones didn't even spell what a Z is. It should be. Item 97, authorizing Mayor President to amend a professional service agreement with Love Impact Coalition, Inc. to equal the amount of $75,000 to plan, develop, and implement the Baton Rouge Love Impact Coalition free vision, dental, and medical clinic by the mayor's office. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 97.
Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr. We have a second. Second by Councilwoman Darazan. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 98, authorizing Mayor President to amend a professional service agreement with We Grow People LLC to equal the amount of $72,000 to provide information technology training and certification for youth served by the mayor's youth workforce experience by the mayor's office. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Do we have a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Rocca. We have a second. Second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. We need to reconsider item 95. Apparently it wasn't a duplicate. Do we have a motion to reconsider? Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Okay, item 95, authorizing Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Head Start Program to submit a renewal grant to the Administration for Children and Families Office of Head Start and receive funding in the amount of $12,882,609 for the operational budget and $124,351 for training and technical assistance, for a total amount $13,006,960 by the Human Services Director. Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 95.
Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Motion carries. Again.
Mr. Pro Tem, while we're reconsidering, I want to defer to my colleague, Councilwoman Coleman.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to reconsider number 66 and give them 90 days.
Motion to reconsider condemnations by Councilwoman Coleman, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Item to be reconsidered. I'll recap on condemnations. Proceed with items 57, 58, 60, 62, 63, and 65. You said 60 days? 90 days, okay. 30 days on item 53 and 56, 60 days on item 52, 90 days on item 49, 51, 59, 61, and 66, and delete items 50, 54, and 64. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's go to our separate sheet for administrative matters. All right, A, authorization to appropriate $300,000 from the airport's cash account, capital improvements to be placed in the taxi lane widening project by the aviation director. Anyone here wishing to speak on this? Oh, I'm sorry, A and, wait, C?
A, B, and
C. Okay, A, B, and C, we take them. B, authorization for the mayor, president, and/or chairman of the airport commission to execute a lease agreement with Scotland Money Mart LLC, doing business as Airport Exxon, for the operations of Fuel C store facility for a period of 5 years, with a 5-year mutual option to renew at a minimum yearly rental rate of $66,830. And C, authorization for the mayor, president, and/or chairman of the airport commission to execute lease agreement with Performance Aviation Holdings LLC to lease approximately 3.545 acres of land to construct a corporate hangar for their operations for a period of 15 years, with 5-year options to renew at a rental rate of $37,059.26 per year by the aviation director. We have a motion by Councilwoman Rocca, second by... Oh, we need a motion to waive the rules. Motion by Councilwoman Rocca, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. We'll have a public hearing on the motion to waive the rules. Anyone wishing to speak on it? Now we have a vote on the motion to waive the rules. Any objections on the motion to waive the rules? Seeing none. Motion, introduce the items. Motion by Councilman Rocca, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Items have been introduced. Administrative matter, emergency item D, authorizing the mayor president on behalf of the Baton Rouge Police Department to amend the existing professional services contract entered into by and between the city of Baton Rouge, Parish of East Baton Rouge, on behalf of the Office of the Parish Attorney, and Timothy W. Hardy of Brazil, Saxey, and Wilson LLP. The amendment would increase the maximum compensation effective January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 by $40,000 from $125,000 to $165,000 by the police chief. Need a motion to waive the rules. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilman Dunn Jr. We're going to have a public hearing on the motion to waive the rules. Anyone here wishing to speak on the motion to waive the rules? Seeing none, we'll have a motion. Is there any objections on the motion to waive the rules? Seeing none, rules waived. We're going to call for a public hearing on the item. Anyone here wishing to speak on the item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Do we have a motion? Anybody? Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr. I'd like to. Chief, if I can have you for a minute. I'd like to know on this item, so we've visited this plenty of times in the past, and I often brought up some of the issues we had seen in the past where it seems like there wasn't a finger on the pulse of where the budget was, where the contract was. Once upon a time, this contract came before us, and we found out at a later date that while it was being requested at a meeting here, they had already shot past the number they were asking for, only to come back later and tell us. And so I think myself and my colleagues made clear that that was problematic, and it appears that that has been gotten under control by all parties, and it was nobody's fault. It was just a monitoring thing, and these cases moved forward, and I think it was billing and communication, obviously. But can you give us an idea of what's outstanding? What's the reason for the increase here, and where do you think this gets you to, and kind of a forward looking on this?
Yeah, so the money, the $40,000 would definitely get me through the end of the year with them. A lot of the money was spent at the beginning of the year and really through now because of some of the determinations that I had to make and some of the appeals that went to the 19th JDC. So they were doing a lot of work like that. I have not, thankfully, so far have not had to appeal before Civil Service Board for any of my disciplinary actions on the King cases this year. But I see that there might be some that are coming down in the pipeline at the end of this year and the beginning of next year that they're prepping for. We've had some that went really close and then got canceled the day before. And so some of that, it took the attorneys some work to do to get prepared for those civil service hearings for the disciplinary action that I took on some officers that wound up not going. But a lot of it was stuff that carried over from last year that we're trying to get wrapped up still.
Okay. So you feel like this is sufficient to finish the year then?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Do we have a motion? Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr. Second by the chair. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right, we're going to have appointments. Board of Adjustment. Consideration of reappointing or replacing Andrew Reynolds, whose term expires January 1st, 2025, effective January 2nd, 2025. Current ballot is Andrew Reynolds requesting reappointment. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Rocca, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Reynolds. Downtown Development District, concurring in the Mayor President's replacement of Tyra Titone, who has resigned. Current ballot is Suzanne Turner, request received from the Mayor President. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, go to council. Motion by Councilman Gode, second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Congratulations, Ms. Turner. We're going to take items 101 through 103 together. Gas Utility District number 1, Board of Commissioners, consideration of reappointing or replacing Daniel Allen. Consideration of reappointing or replacing Randy Lorio. Consideration of reappointing or replacing Jeffrey Manchester. 5-year terms expiring January 1st and effective January 2nd. The current ballot is Daniel Allen, Randy Lorio, and Jeffrey Manchester. Do we have a motion?
Motion to appoint Daniel, Randy, and Jeffrey.
Motion by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 104, Greater Baton Rouge Airport District Board of Commissioners, consideration of reappointing or replacing Kizzy Payton. Item 105, Greater Baton Rouge Airport District Board of Commissioners, consideration of reappointing or replacing William Profita. Current ballot, Karen Mahomes, Brent Moore, Kizzy Payton, William Profita. Ms. Payton and Mr. Profita have requested reappointment. Do we have anyone wishing to speak on these items?
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Kizzy Payton. I come respectfully asking for a reappointment to the Airport Commission today, and I'm here available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Members of the council, my name is Bill Profita, and I want to request reappointment to the board. It has been a great pleasure to serve for the past 5 years, and I've gotten a chance to serve with Councilman Dunn Jr., Councilwoman Banks, Councilman Moak, and I believe that we're doing good work there, and I'd like to continue it. Thank you for your consideration.
Councilman Hudson? I'm sorry, anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Councilman Hudson?
Motion to reappoint Ms. Payton and Mr. Profita.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Do we have any opposition? Motion carries. Personnel Board, consideration of reappointing or replacing Etta Harris, whose term expires December 31st, effective January 1st, 2025. Current ballot requesting reappointment is Etta Harris. Anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Rocca, second by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposition? Congratulations, Etta Harris. All right, let's see, we got change orders here. We're gonna take items 107 through 110 together. 107, City of Baton Rouge Human Resources Interior Painting, contractor Morillo Industrial Solutions, change order amount $30,179. Item 108, Winborn ADA Transition Project, contractor The Luster Group LLC, change order amount $12,514.08. Item 109, Strain Road Bridge over Drainage Bayou, contractor Gulf State Services LLC, change order amount $45,037.35. Burbank Bluebonnet Regional Pump Station, contractor Boone Services LLC, change order amount $98,170.52. Public hearing. Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on items 107 through 110? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Final acceptances. We're going to take items 111 through 113 together. Item 111, Winborn Area ADA Transition Project, contractor The Luster Group LLC, final cost $332,207.08. Item 112, Burbank Bluebonnet Regional Pump Station, contractor Boone Services LLC, final cost $1,519,270.52. Item 113, Strain Road Bridge over Drainage Bayou, contractor Gulf State Services LLC, final cost $2 million, $2,043,037.90. Anyone here wishing to speak on items 111 through 113? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second? Second by Councilman Hudson. Any opposed? Motion carries. Acceptance of low bids. Items 114 through 118 will be taken together. 114, City Hall Security Upgrade, Restart, Arkel Constructors, $558,000. Item 115, EBR Parish Prison, M&N Wing Detention Door Control System, low bid institutional service, $137,458.74. Item 116, PSC H2 Building Renovation for Veterans Affairs. I'm confused. Oh, withdrew. Okay. Low bid Sienna Construction LLC, $827,000. Item 117, Main Street Area ADA Transition Project. Low bid Triumph Construction LLC, $377,000. Item 118, Sales Tax Street and Road Rehabilitation Program, Fontainebleau Drive, Big Bend Avenue, Streets and Forest Heights Park. Low bid Barrier Construction Company LLC, $2,257,696.75. Anyone here wishing to speak on items 114 through 118? Seeing none, we'll go to council. Motion by Councilwoman Adams. We have a second? Second by Councilman Dunn Jr. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 119, we have receiving a report from the Scotlandville Food Access Commission on the grocery store project by Councilwoman Shauna Banks. We're going to receive the report and then we'll have the public hearing. I know you're not Councilwoman Banks. Please state your name for the record and give us our report, sir.
Eugene Collins. I'm the lead organizer and lead consultant for the Scotlandville Food Access Commission. And I don't look like the councilwoman, so I promise y'all I will be brief. I'm going to let that be passed around. I know I emailed the PowerPoint, but I don't know if you have it. But if not, I did print some physical copies for y'all. In that presentation is going to give you a bit of information on what the commission is as a whole, as well as a brief update on what the project is. If you look at the first page, which is titled the overview, and we'll get into the analysis offered by the Baton Rouge Airport and the surrounding area, but just to pull some highlights from that report, what we found in this report is that in that particular area, when I say that particular area, is where the grocery store is proposing to be put, which is on the right side of Harding. I think we all call it the Southern University exit right there, Harding Boulevard, which, if you don't know, is the second largest exit in Baton Rouge. So the grocery store is slated to be put to the right side of that in a property that's owned, and I'll get to that in just a bit. We also discussed the key data and demographics. The nearest businesses, up to 125 businesses, are within 5 miles of that particular site. Reason why that's important is we talked about grocery stores in Scotlandville over the years. We've heard the same thing, whether it was density of population or rooftop data, that those things didn't exist at the level to have a grocery store in Scotlandville. So what this commission did was actually challenge that thought a bit, right? When I say a bit, we agreed with that study, but we also looked at the traffic data and found that that particular corridor that I just mentioned, the second largest exit in Baton Rouge, had 155,000 cars, 142,000 cars pass that particular corridor daily. So you're looking at that traffic as well as the rooftop data, and you position it on that side of the interstate where the exit's located. The study will show that's attached to your packet that you'll probably pick up people from Central, you'll probably pick up folks from Baker, you may even pick up folks as far as Centerville, Mississippi, thus adding to the data that is lacking in the heart of Scotlandville, where you probably can't get a grocery store, but you can get it on the other side of Harding if you look at the rooftop data. And we found that there is some interest from vendors, which I'll get to, on that side of Harding, but not necessarily in the heart of Scotlandville. The population density is something I already spoke to. For the economic activity and business potential, there's 105 anchor businesses within 5 minutes of that particular site. So showing the viability of a business surviving at that particular site has already been proven through many years of service, through multiple businesses that already exist within that site, which is a bit different if you went on the other side of that interstate. And then we also looked at the master plan considerations as well as the strategic planning based on local data and trends. And it's also showed the same trend with some of the improvements that you're seeing on Plank Road, with the expansion of the airfield there and the airfield study that's been completed. You can see that this particular site, this particular plot of land, is actually a viable site to develop. And if you get to the next slide, which is the BTR airport area, the detailed data overview, that'll break down some of the businesses I just talked about, right? You have Turner Industries Equipment, which is 0.95 miles away. You have the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport, which is 0.98 miles away from this particular site. You have the Parish Prison, which is 1.19 miles away from this site. You have Southern Recycling, which is 1.5 miles away from this site. You have Louisiana Fish Fry, you have Tony's Seafood, you have the Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, all within 2 miles of this particular site. And if you look at the max analysis of the traffic count on that particular corridor, again, we're up to 142,000. And the population and growth and trends continue to grow as you look in that direction. Yes, sir.
Forgive me for interrupting. Can you clarify where the site is that you're referring to?
Yes, sir. It's if you're familiar with Harding, if you get off to the exit of Harding, there's that IHOP there.
Yes.
That particular site is located almost directly behind that IHOP. Right.
And access would come from Howell or directly from Harding?
So it's going to be a little bit of both, right? Because when we get into what access looks like, you got Howell, you have Harding, but then if you look at you have to be somewhat familiar with the area. If you get to that IHOP, there's actually a road between that IHOP and the gas station there, right? So there's going to require some road construction to build a small bridge to get into that access point. So you can actually have at least 3 to 4 access points over time.
Thank you.
But the goal would be to break ground first.
Thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
And if you look at the next slide, which talks about the visual data, it breaks down the site that I just explained to Mr. Godet here. And if you look at the next slide, which is local funding and neighborhood food access guidance, there's a no for application. I won't offer any detail about that application. Ms. Marley's here if y'all have any questions about that particular applications. And the funds that were announced by Mayor President, as well as the guidelines for applicants, are located in this particular PowerPoint that I've already emailed to you. So if you have any questions, you can read that in detail. And please follow up with the commission if you have any questions about those particular items. And the state funding, which is the Resilient Community Infrastructure Program, RCIP, which I've already approved this project as well as substitute projects within this district. The key points there is economic development projects like grocery stores not only may qualify, we now know for a fact does qualify if they benefit low to moderate income LML households. So that would be a way to actually supplement the project and actually get building going. And that's the last slide of that PowerPoint. I will get to the airfield study here, which is at the back of your guidance, which talks about that target zone that I just explained to Mr. Gode, as well as list all 125 businesses that we talked about that are within 5 minutes of this particular site. And it also shows the 5-mile radius of the extended stay hotel that's been proposed in this area as well. And to date, I can say without saying a lot, because we're at the point where you have to think about choice selection and all of those good things, as well as we're working with a developer that did make me sign an NDA. So I can't mention a whole lot, but I can tell you that a purchase agreement has been made on the land, as well as a LOI has been actually tendered with a vendor. So I am confident to say that this is the farthest that a grocery store has gotten in Scotlandville ever. But even with that said, if we broke ground tomorrow, technically when you talk about grocery stores, you have to be selling fresh produce within 3 years of that groundbreaking to be considered successful. So we're nowhere near successful, but we're a little bit farther along than probably anybody else that's came before you. Any questions, council people?
Anyone else wishing to speak on the item? Go to council. Councilman Gode.
Thanks, Eugene. Excuse me. Thank you, Gene, for the presentation. I have to say I didn't receive the PowerPoint, so if you don't mind sending a second round of emails. But this helpful information. Would the funding that's been and being allocated go specifically for building a building, or could some of that funding go into an operational standpoint?
I would actually request that Ms. Marley come up here and talk about funding. I would want to step on her toes.
As she's coming up, my second question is there any discussion of including hiring local, looking within that 5 to 10 mile radius for hires for whoever the operator is?
I'd assume, Councilman, if we don't do that, they're probably going to run the councilwoman out of there. But now we've actually talked about that. Good. As well as a program specifically focused towards students at Southern University.
Yep, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Just very quickly, what was your question?
Yeah, thanks. The funding that we're talking about here, federal funds and some state funds, are they all to go towards the physical building, or any of it towards the operations or some other aspect of the cost?
So federally, because these are all federal funds, some of them are running through the state, and some of them are directly awarded to our office. All of them are currently earmarked within our policies and procedures for the to subsidize the construction of the building, such that can reduce the lease rate of an operator to attract them. Operations could be something that we explore that's a federally allowable activity. However, when we worked with other cities, we saw that put the city at a higher risk because you're kind of managing that over the long term, whereas we want to make sure that as best as we can, we position ourselves to kind of be successful with our federal grant metrics.
Perfect. Are we putting any dollars towards infrastructure? We talked about extending a road, that sort of thing.
We certainly can. So the way these generally work and the way that our current program policies and procedures is the developer themselves will apply to the city parish, and they're going to put together their budget of construction. So they can request infrastructure subsidies. Perfect. They can, request commercial. They can request acquisition subsidies, commercial development subsidies, and then we'll kind of basically do a subsidy layering and an underwriting of the whole deal to make sure that we're not over subsidizing anything. So it's kind of a bit of a financial process, but some of it's driven by what the developer says their needs are, paired with what our financial assessment says is reasonable to subsidize.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate y'all.
And I would want to mention something else that I left out. When you talk about this particular project, it's not going to be a standalone grocery store. You're probably not going to see that in this particular region. It's probably going to resemble more of a model what you might see in Seeking Lane with Target and some of those other anchor businesses. And we're finding, and Ms. Marley can tell you this as well, we're finding that businesses are open to come into this area. So it's not just a grocery store. I think you're going to see, not that I know you're going to see some other anchor businesses kind of be a part of this complex as well as there's enough space to look at development. We look at the housing needs in that particular district as well. So there's a realm of possibilities there. Any other questions?
Councilman Hudson.
Do y'all, Eugene, do y'all have a idea of like the size of grocery store that we're talking about?
So you're looking at two different things, right? The smallest size that you're going to find for a big box vendor is about 30,000 square feet. In that particular region, they're going to ask for a 50,000 square foot store.
So we're looking at a 50,000 square foot grocery store for this site?
More than likely.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Eugene, if you don't mind just mentioning the commission and other folks that was involved, I want to first commend you guys, you, the councilwoman, and take my hat off to you guys. I know a lot of people have, started or focused on this issue. As you mentioned, you guys have been able to get it to a point that's farther than many have in the past. I'm excited about the opportunity and looking forward for you guys to bring it to reality. But who are some other people involved in the commission or the committee?
So, of course, the mayor's office, Ms. Marley Pittman, has been just a tremendous help making sure that we get this rolling. When you look at just community partners, whether it's from Southern University to people that have worked in the grocery industry to some of the nonprofit partners that help with just the infrastructure of our meetings. It's been a lot of folks that really came together to push this forward. It hasn't been a singular project done by anybody. It's definitely been a team effort getting this push forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Item 121, receiving a report from DM Group and City Parish Purchasing Office on the purchasing and procurement finding study by Councilman Cleve Dunn Jr. The reason for emergency is to allow the report to be heard on November 13th. In accordance with Ordinance 16442, this item must be declared an emergency by 2/3 vote of the Metropolitan Council. We have a motion to declare it an emergency.
I'm actually going to make a motion to delete it. DM Group was not able to make it tonight, so we're going to reintroduce it when they are able to make it. I'm looking forward to hearing this report.
All right. We're going to delete the item. Do we need a motion to delete? Yeah. We have a motion to delete by Councilman Dunn Jr., second by the chair. Any opposed? Motion carries. Councilwoman Amorosa is not here. Councilwoman Adams?
Motion to adjourn.
Means adjourned. Any announcements? None? Thank you for continued service. Remember to serve your families, your communities, and first and foremost, serve God. Thank you. God bless.